Okay, back again. I thought my network connections were having problems, but it turns out it is my computer. Uh, it's had a problem for a while. Just random times it will start locking up. I can move around a bit, but then like everything, like I don't know, like chunks of memory just become unavailable, and it's trying to recover from that. I don't know exactly what it's doing, but it slowly all the apps just start locking up, and it will take forever. It will never finish. Actually, I tried getting to reset one time where I just wait, like I'd force close an app and I'd wait for it to close, and I'd go back the next day. It was still waiting to close. Uh, Sounds like a memory problem. Could be a processor problem. It could be all kinds of things, which is why I haven't fixed it yet. And hopefully we won't run into that problem again during this stream. Anyway, back to metal shelves. We discussed the rack, just in case this comes up as a new video instead of a continuation. Let's go back and look at this picture here. This is the shelf layout that I want to work on. 6 bins tall, so 5 shelves, and at least 3 sections, like 2 for bins and then a wider section for storing other things. But it's complicated, so we're gonna need to draw it out a bit. The storage shed. Did it pick the right template? The storage shed just makes it a little because it's so narrow. I've got some hard limits on this. The thing is 3.5 meters long. I need to probably save about 70 centimeters, 70 or 80 on one end, maybe a meter if possible, which means my overall shelf can be about 2.5 meters long. It can be about 2 meters tall and still have room to fit one more of those bins on top of it. Oh, I just realized I have to readjust the size of this real quick. It can be, what can it be? 30 to 32, 28 to 32 centimeters deep, and preferably, at least 30, which would make it the stuff fit on it better. 32 is the absolute maximum. Let's see, does the app come in? Nope, hang on a second while I repair this. There we go. Now I just have to fiddle with the size to make it work. Hang on a sec. Yeah, that's better. Okay. I wish the toolbars were up there, but it's not working right now. There's another problem to play with. So many things to figure out. I'd still like to do like an intro to the channel too, where something can play for a little bit when I first start the channel and I'm getting everything prepped and I'm sending out messages that I'm live streaming finally, which just reminded me I need to send out one more. Hang on just a second. All right. Yeah, so I guess the first thing to do is we've got some major items that need to be drawn. We need some outlines for those so we can make sure they fit in the location, and a few guides just to make sure that that everything's in the right place. So let's start off here. First, bye person, and let's draw a box. I need a rectangle, and this is, how big did I say? 64 centimeters by 3,500. Yep, that's in millimeters. Yeah, so that should be right. And let's offset this so we have something to scale up and down to kind of get a reference. That is not the offset button. Where's my offset button? No, that is scale. We need offset by, the walls are 90 deep. There we go. Now we have something that we can pull up and down to kind of lay out give us an idea where the walls are at, the walls and the door. But I'm going to leave that down there for now because we don't need that. Excuse me. So first thing is to make, what happens if I make that all one component? Actually, I don't think I can with that. Let's get rid of that. Yeah, okay. Make this a component so that we don't accidentally attach to it, because that'd be bad. And I think I can still expand that if I want to. Oh, no. No? Oh, seriously? Can you only scale a component then? Probably. That works just as well. No, it's making it thicker. Dang it. What is going on here? Oh, that's just me adjusting things, not making it thicker. Just me being dumb. All right, let's cancel that. So we can still play with it. It gives us what we want. I think this floor is going to get in the way, but we'll deal with that later. All right, let's model a few things. We need the heater. The heater is a plane. I think if I just draw it, it shows up there. Is that right? Let me double check something here. Yep, it just shows up there. Okay, delete that. So the first part, I want a rectangle that is 460 by 460. Now we need to extrude that by 10. And then the next part roughly is 42. Let's offset that by 46 to 42, makes 4, that's 20 on each side. And let's extrude that. Total height of this and the bottom together comes out to 120. We got 10 on the bottom, so 110. That's more or less the tank, but with rounded corners. Well, let's see if we, it doesn't really matter. I don't need this to be super pretty. Yeah, I'm just gonna, I don't want to, I want rounded corners. Okay, sorry. Let's go back. Because it kind of, the way it fits, I need some rounded corners on here just so that it gets a little closer to being what we want. Is there a chamfer? I don't always know how to do these parts. I thought there was a chamfer. guess I could just draw them. So let's offset some lines. We'll get some markers on here. It won't be the ideal way to do it, but it will work. And it might actually be the right way. Who knows? Let's put that in 20, 20, 20, and 20. Wait, is that the rounding that I want? No. Like it's a big circle. Something that'll work right there. And that's better. Okay. I don't know, it still doesn't look right, and they both look different. So how big is that curve? I'm gonna call that 60. Oh, come on. What are you doing there? Hello. Why is there no ruler being pulled out? I do this occasionally, where the rulers just kind of stop working. And you got to click off of them and then start over before they work again. Alright, there's that. Let's find some 2-point arcs. No. Sure, that works. Yep. Because these aren't, yeah. I have to draw lines down to make them not just vanish. Oops. Because when I trim these corners, that's going to get, it will only trim the face. This isn't a solid object yet. This is a bunch of faces put together. And so to make them a solid object, you have to draw in all the lines, cut away all the pieces, and then tell it to be a solid. See, like how the bottom doesn't have what you would think would be down there yet. So I think this is just easier if we delete the whole bottom part, and we will just, yeah, we'll just make the top and extrude it down. And that should be easier. Okay. Yeah, okay. That is good. So that was 10, I think. Let's extrude this down. 10. Now we can offset it by 20. Now let's give it the tank, which isn't exactly like this, but I could probably make it kind of, let's see, if that's 110 tall, it's 55 and 55. I'm not sure, since it's the same one, I don't think it'll let me do that, but yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, 110. I could technically scale that. I'm not going to. Maybe. Let me try something here. This is way more than it needs to have done, but nothing wrong with that. It's good practice. What I'm going to try to do is, this tank is actually more tank shaped, right? It's kind of a curve. And so I want to bring this in. That's not really going to make any difference, so you know, I give up. Let's just get it done. All right, next step is to erase that line. Is to find the center of this, which is easy enough, and then draw a circle. Let's go to there. Alright. Oh, why didn't you draw a circle? I did. Okay, and there's a mark there. So let's draw a circle on this face. The circle is the heating column, which was 33 centimeters across, 15, 16 and a half, 165. And it is 6250 tall, 50 centimeters, so 500 millimeters. There we go. All right, now we have a space heater. Let's get rid of that. Let's highlight all of the pieces and make a component. All right, and we have two of those, so let's duplicate. Copy and paste. I hope those are on the same level still. I think they are. So now, first problem. Let's take a look at this. If I put this in here, that is bigger. Oh, seriously. Just put it down somewhere. It's pretty big. Okay. So those. So it's almost the whole width. I mean, not really. We know it's 46 across, and we've got 30 to play with. But obviously, if the shelf is only 30 wide, the legs are going to be that's going to be a problem. And you also have to get past them. So that's a problem. That is going to overhang by at least 16, which means I won't be able to squeeze by those. So they're going to have to be on one end, and I've got a plan for this. I think that once the shelf is built, I'll leave a space at the top that's low enough that these can fit in, so they will be up high, and that way they'll be at the top of the rack. They won't have the verticals in the way, and I'll be able to slide those in there. I think. I hope so. And that way, because my head's not as big as my stomach, so I can squeeze past those. And most of the time, if they're in the back, I won't have to go get them. But there's a door in the back, so that I can just take them off that way if I need to. Yeah, I think that'll work. And I don't get these out. I mean, I get them out one time a year, and then I put them back away normally at the end of the season. So it's not like I put them in and out. I don't have to have great access to these. So yeah, that's part one. We got 3 more pieces that we need. The what is that thing? I forgot even. Oh, we got the power washer. We've got the shop vac and the drill press. I don't know how much detail I want to put on those, but let's find out. Let's make a little space over here. Let's move that up into the corner. Yep. So the shop vac. The shop vac has some weird shapes to it. See how I can draw that. First I need a box. Looks like 39 by 34 at the widest. Really? Is that all? Yeah, I guess it's about right. Okay. So switch back to a rectangle. Let's try it. 340 by 390. Yep. And then there's a circle on that. 28. Actually, I meant to measure that out. 93 diameter. That's okay. 29 and a half. Let's just call it 30. So it's not exactly the center of this. Or is it? It's a weird oddball shape. I'm gonna, for all intents and purposes, I'm gonna call it the center. Let's just do that. Not that. Let's see. That didn't do exactly what I wanted to do, but it never does. Okay, that'll do that. Let's draw a circle, which is going to be the tank part. We just decided that's 30 centimeters, so 150. That looks weird. Ah, that's why. Yeah, it pays. I should be doing this top down. Let's go back. Try that again. Let's offset this to the center. There we go. And the center there, yep. Now let's draw a circle again. 150. Yeah, that's more like it. More or less. And now, because the sides are curved, but the front is straight, we need a few tangent pieces. Yeah, that'll work. And like I said, it's got some weird shapes here. So first let's bring this up. And we're gonna, I don't know how big that is. Let's just call it 80, because I like the look of that. Yeah, something like that. Something nearly tangent. I don't know if it really is, but it's close enough. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, because this is where some tools are stored at on there. So let's get rid of the extra junk that we don't need. Putting those. This circle. Something like that. Okay. Let's rotate that a bit. Dashboard seems to be having some problems, but it's working. Okay. Let's extrude this up. The main part of this is how tall. Looks like 30, but I want 48 for clearance because the tools come up to 48. So I'll add some tools that go up to 48. Yeah, that seems reasonable. And we need 8 centimeters for the bottom. So let's get this up to 30. Let's extrude this up to 80. It's not that chunky, but it'll do. And there's a handle on there and stuff, but who cares? That's the overall. Alright, let's draw some tools. Which are basically just hoses. You go there on the face. How big was that? I guess it doesn't matter anyways, does it? Okay. Let's extrude. See, that's 80. I want overall 48, so I need these to be 400. Hello? No. Doesn't always catch. Why is that? 400. Oh, that's not quite right. That's not that tall. 480. Ah, that's right. It's 30 here, and then there's the top that goes on, and that's okay. Yeah. What should I do here? I can offset this a little bit. Why not that much? Sure. I think I can grow the base, and so I will do that. This needs to go up to 39. It stopped at 30, so I need 90. That's more like it. And if I grab the circle here, I can scale that. Ah. Now I want it to be scaled. I want it to all be scaled, not just. How come I can't get the whole thing? Uniform. About the center. Aha, there we go. Maybe instead of that one, I want this one. Actually, that's kind of the way it does it, but that's not what I'm going for. I could just have to do both of these. It lets me grab the points though, so that works out better. Does that actually do anything? It looks a little weird. Who cares? That is a shop vac. Good to go. Let's make this a component. Shop vac. And go ahead and drop that in there. Okay, now we have the power washer, which I am going to definitely cheat on because it's a weird shape. That's the wrong tool again. A rectangle. This needs to be 350 by 300 at the base. 60 tall. And then kind of slanty a bit. So let's go. Why does it do that? 600. Which side would switch? Yeah, that way. Now we want to scale this. Not offset, but scale. Actually, I could do it this way. Why not? No, that worked. It would also just be easier to draw these this way. And then draw the lines in and delete them out. I could have scaled it, and that would have taken care of a couple of other bits all at the same time, but I like this method. Drawing the corners. You can't see them yet, but they're going to be there. Oops. see the back ones probably, but this will make more sense in a moment. Shut up. Okay, that's all nice and angly. That's close. Close enough. So there's that. And then it is a total of 80 tall if you put the brushes in. So I'm going to just make a thing that looks right. Let's see, which side's the back now? Let's call that 20. Let's call that. That's where it's going to not work again, isn't it? Let's call that 50. Why not? Draw a line, and we'll just extend that part up to pretend to be the rest of it. I need that to be 200. All right, that's kind of the tools, for lack of a better way to do that. It's just simple. Ah, no, go away. That, no, what? Why? Oh yeah, bevel. Okay, need that line there, unfortunately. All right. See, now you can see why this is taking some planning, because of this thing. All of these tools are kind of chunky, and they need to fit in just right. And I think, because this thing was 35, it could go in any direction at once, but yeah, because this will fit. So the studs in the storage shed Monoki are 42 centimeters, 42.5 centimeters, something like that. The spacing in between them. So if this is, as long as the items are less than 42 wide, I can push it back in and get an additional 6 to 9 centimeters out of it. So since this is 35, I can push that back in there. It's only 30 wide, so I should be able to find a good spot to push that back in and get the extra clearance. And these skinny items that can fit between the wall and the legs, I will put on the floor. And these items I get out more regularly, so I want them in the front. So they will go on the floor in the front, but the two space heaters I think I'm going to have to put up high, so that they can, because they're too deep, I just won't be able to fit them in there properly otherwise. So they have to go somewhere where there's no legs in the way. Last thing to put together is the drill press. And I could just make a box. I haven't done that yet, but I could. Let's see. Put that in there. We'll see. We'll see what we need. I need 25 by 60. Oops. Oh, really? That is kind of deep, isn't it? If it were 60, and I can get the maximum of 39 out of it, that still leaves a lot. It's going to have to go in sideways. Wow, that's going to take up a lot of space. Yeah. Let's draw that again. There we go. And this needs to be, it's not really that. Which way do I want to do this? Triangle, take some out, just leave it a big block. It's a little less than that, but if I wrap it all up in the blanket, it looks just like this. So I think I will leave it that way. And we'll make it 400 tall and call that done. Because we're not here to draw tools, we're here to draw a shelf. Make component. And that's going to go in there somewhere. Okay. So now it's time for the shelf. And our, oh yeah, I need 12 boxes. Those should be easy. I want them to be 30 by 44 by 320. Yep. 300 by 440, and they get extruded by 32. Yep. All right. Let's make that a component. Storage box. Okay. Now it's time to do the shelves. Hi, Kaitan. You still watching? Shelf. Yep. Now I have to get things out of the way. For most of it, okay, so let's go back to the wire rack system. There's, you can't see that. Now you can. So, Iris Plaza has more selection than we've been able to find at other places, and they're good prices. Well, it's still kind of expensive, but it's not any more expensive than a wood shelf, and it's going to be more sturdier, and I don't have to build it as much. I just have to kind of design it. So the shelves that I want, where are they at? I need the 19 millimeter. The 25 millimeter pole version can hold more weight per shelf. I don't need 250 kilograms per shelf. 75 is probably a tiny bit low for storage, but it will be fine. I'm actually going 75. Let me scroll down to some sizes down here. So everything up to 80 centimeter says it can store 75 kilograms, which honestly means that these 55 centimeter ones are going to store more than that because it's the same construction, just less span. So there's no reason why it couldn't store less than that, or more than that. And I'm going to use the 50 centimeters, which I'm going to assume can hold at least 100 kilograms and maybe 120, which is okay. There are some sections I may want to use these longer ones, but I may still keep them at 75 to 80 centimeters, I think, because all of the other pieces are like the bigger bins that I would want to store on top or somewhere 60 to 70 centimeters long. So I think those will be okay. And again, I need to keep this to about 2.5 meters. So 30 centimeter wide shelf by 50 centimeters long is exactly the right size to put those bins under. If I made them 90, I think I did 90 centimeters would hold 2 of those, but then less weight and double the amount of stuff I want to put on it, so that's probably not a good idea. So I think I will go with 50 centimeters at $12 a shelf. The other systems we've seen in Japan are about 15 to 18 dollars, 15 to 1800 yen per shelf. So 1200 is not too bad. We're gonna need a lot of them though, but still, I think overall the price is going to be reasonable here. So the first thing I already know from sketching it out that we've got 190 centimeters is enough for the 6 bins, 6 bins tall. So the 190 centimeter rod will take care of that. I'll put a couple of feet at the bottom, and we know the shelves that we want in this part. The next part I need to figure out is the actually, where to put the the heaters. And now that I've rethought how I'm going to lay this out, I think um, I've actually only bought 6, 7, 8, 9 bins, and to do that full system I need 12. But with only 9 bins, that leaves me some space at the top of that side, because that's kind of the side that I want to put um, the space heaters at the top of that side over there, because they're the same width as, more or less, as this thing. So I think setting them on the top of that would work. And they're about the height of 2 of those. So if I drop that down, if I take, it's 8 there and a spare bin for somewhere else, that's not too bad. Um, I think that's okay. I kind of like that idea. So let's start drawing this out. Back to SketchUp. So the tricky part is that shelf. I'm going to need to draw that shelf out and get some things figured out, because I know the overall dimensions, but then that 19 millimeter rod kind of gets inset a little bit because it has to have some space on the sides for the metal and the whole ring to go around it. So I think I'm going to draw that out. Let's get this out of the way and draw the first shelf that we need. So that should be easy enough. If we draw 300 by 500, that's the overall dimensions. And we have to stick 4 poles in the corners, and they're all going to be the same offset from everything. I know that these 19 millimeter shelves are, the spacing between the shelves is 2.5 centimeters. I don't know that they're actually that thick, but I'm going to assume that they're pretty close to 2.5 centimeters thick. It says something right there, 35 to 120, 49 sizes. Oh, from 35 to 120 long. Nobody gives any real dimensions on these things, but at least the outer dimensions are accurate. I just don't know what the thickness is, but I know they have to be 25 centimeters or less. So we're just going to assume 25 centimeters. That seems reasonable. The notch spacing between how these sit on those rods, you put little keys in them so that when they slide down onto a specific notch, there's every 2.5 centimeters there's another notch, and these slide into each one of those notches, and you can lock them into place on one specific one. Yeah. So back to here. We need circles. Oh, I already said the 25 centimeters. I don't want to do too much here, but how big would those be? Actually, I've got an example outside, but I think they're really like 1.5, 2 millimeters at the most. Let's just assume that they take up 25 wide, 25 tall. Can I assume that? I know the 50 centimeter shelf holds this 44 centimeter wide box with a little bit to spare, because that would be, if it were 2.5 on each side, 44 would be 49, because we need 5 on each side, and that half centimeter on each side to up slack, that would be about right. So I'm going to guess each corner pole takes up approximately 25 millimeters of space, and the pole would be centered right in that. So let's give that a whirl. 25, 25, and 25. So right in here will be a 19 millimeter hole. Ouch. Circle. Oh, there's no center on there. That's right, of course. So let me do. No, of course not. I don't want to have to delete that out. That's going to be annoying. What's a better way to do this? This probably is good enough. So I really need this to be the total for a diameter of, what did I say, 19? Of course. I don't have, it doesn't have to be 19. Actually, I bet this hole's bigger. The rod's 19. Anyways, I'm just going to make this 20 because it's easy. And I can't do center lines. Okay, whatever. Let's do it this way. It's easier for me to delete out these parts than to go back and try to find where they're at or figure out how to do it the right way. Center line, 10. See, that's not so bad. Center at 10. And I don't need these anymore. Whoops. Okay. And now, delete. Delete. Hello? You're not going to let me delete that? Bye-bye. Not the circle, the hole. There we go. Yeah, I feel that's about right. Let's raise this 25 millimeters. And that is our shelf. It's not exactly our shelf because it doesn't matter. I could make it a little more accurate. I'm going to put a lot of these in there and we'll kind of want to see through them. I don't know. I could just texture the sides. Do I want to? Maybe I'll do it this way because that won't be so hard. We'll offset this. It's the same amount of offset. Did it? Why does it do that? I don't like it when it does that. There. That should work. Yeah. So that's gonna, those holes have to be bigger to make that work. Yeah. How big is that? Okay. It's getting silly. The distance from there to there is approximately 2 millimeters. That's interesting. Okay. Step 1. Expand the ring, the circle, because that's easier. Hello. Offset by 2 millimeters. Check. Offset by 2. 2. Offset by 2. Okay. Next, let's take this, also offset that by 2. Yep. So we have essentially a 2mm rod, 2mm hole, or 2mm wire around everything, 2mm of that. Okay, I'm good with that. And now let's raise this part, not that part. This part, let's raise that up 23mm. So that leaves 2mm at the top. There's that. 23. Raise that 23. 23. And 23. All right, now we get rid of the excess. I should probably leave that part because that may confuse things if I don't. I mean, technically they're different pieces. But I like the look without it. It still leaves a hole in the middle, right? Yeah, okay. Stop that. Where's that line there? Yeah. Okay, whatever. I'll leave the line there. Break things otherwise. Which corner am I? Got those 2 corners done. Okay. Still can't tell it's any different yet, but that's because I haven't put a fancy texture on it. So let's look at some materials that this would make sense for. Not glass and mirrors. Fencing? We do have some fencing. Yeah. That's gonna be weird. Why not? It looks like fence. I'm happy with that. Oh yeah, that's why I wanted that separate, because this is solid. Okay, I'm an idiot. Let's put all those back. Not all of it, but close enough. Crap, I have to go delete some stuff again. That should do it. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. Actually, which one do I want? I think I want to keep that circle hole. That makes more sense. And then get rid of this line. Yeah, that'll work. You won't notice that's not really possible in real life. Okay, now we can start texturing everything. Let's try this again. Oh, there's a little piece right up in there. I'm gonna have to find these again. So metal, 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 metal. We need metal. Aluminums is, yeah, that works. Does it? Oops. Yeah. Because that's not on the top. Oh. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. I mean, it doesn't make sense in real life, but okay. Yeah, to fix some minor inconsistency, I need to do this. And that should make that solid. Yeah, okay, that's better. Back to this. What is all that? Those aren't in the models. Oh well. That is fascinating, and not at all what I was expecting. Can I fix that with an extrusion? Nope. I mean, yeah, sort of. Did the wrong thing. See, this is why we don't dive into weird stuff. What's the best way to do this? If I delete that, I don't know, I think that's going to cause some weird issues. If I extrude that down to this, that just does bizarro things too. Bizarro. Because the thing and the thing and alright, I've got an idea. Not on face, on the end of that right there. Come on, you can do it. And if I do that and I get rid of that, does that, yeah, that blends in with that. But then I need to draw, or I can't get to that because the freaking face is in the way. Am I inside the face now? Yes. Okay, that draws that. Still not exactly what I want. And this is definitely not the way I want to do this because it's freaking complicated. Okay. So those are together. I could just delete that out. Let me find something. All right, we need something. Something. Do I start over and cut that hole out and then put a thing in the middle of it? Or do I just not care? Maybe I just don't care. I think that's a valid possibility. I just don't care. Why? Why bother? I think let us do this and just make it all. It'll be grand. Good enough. Right? I don't know. We're looking into the thing, so that's not really right. But whatever. I think it's fine. Yeah, fine. Yeah, I'm good with that. I still need to do that expansion probably. Oh, shoot. Not ideal. Good enough for government work. This way's a pain in the butt. I don't like it. But it gets the job done. And it looks terrible to boot. What more could you want? Where's my expansion? I haven't been doing the. I mean, you can't really tell the difference. But, oh well. I meant to be filling those in. Just forgot. All right, that ought to do it. Can you see through that side? Oh, that's weird. What? It just disappeared. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I see. Yeah, whatever. see-through shelf. And then you, yeah, okay, good enough. This is a 30-50 shelf. Actually, I think they call it 50-30, but oh well. Too late now. Not really. I will change it. And now for the fun bit. Let's get this stuff off here. Yeah, I think that'll be okay. 62. I could almost fit that. No. I have to. Because there's a door there. I'd have to stay under that. I should probably go measure that. No, I don't need to. Let's try. Let's save this first. Give me a sec, I'll be right back. Savey, savey, save. That new folder. Let's go back to the storage shed. So on the door side, well, the front side, let's call it the front side, I have 221 centimeters, but there's also a big gap. The shelf should be back about 1 meter from this door, but on the back side, it's a little different. I guess it's about the same. It's just narrower. I will have 55 cents. That everything is that size or less. That's okay. And the height is 22, about 221 again. So I was going to do 190. Let's see, 220 minus 190. That's only 30. And the heaters are 62. And since this is going to be pretty close to this door, I have to be able to fit it right through the door opening onto the shelf. So one rack unit is, what did we say on here? 35 plus 2.5, 37.5. So if I add, if I lower the rack storage down, or the bin storage, by one level, that will give me space to put 2 space heaters up at that end. And that'll still give me room for 10 bins. I've only got 9 now, but I can find another one. Do I keep the whole rack that height? It doesn't seem like a good idea. Do I need more storage? So, one benefit of keeping the rack the same height all the way across is that when I put tall stuff up there, I could take it off of either end, technically. I mean, I could clear out the whole top rack and then move things from one end all the way down to the other side. And if I put them in, if the top is a different height than different sections, then I can only take stuff off the ends out one side. So there won't be room to lift it up. Oh, I just thought of something else. No, yeah. Are those? Oh, good. Okay. So this is the only bar at the ends for the height that limits the height. Once you get inside, you have a little more space on the side. Okay. How many things need 62 centimeters? Not much. I could lower the shelf. If the shelf is 190, oh, I don't know if Oklahoma can reach that high. I kind of want to make the middle sections taller, but I don't know why I would need to then. Because I want to. Fun. It's really nice. Oh, mail's here. Well, let's draw it out, see what it looks like. Yeah, that's good for now. Yeah, I think that the ends I will make shorter. So 1, 2, 3, 4 sections of 37.5. Is 150, but you also need an extra 2.5 centimeters because you have to offset the shelves that are right next to each other. I've got those feet. I could raise it up with the feet 2.5 centimeters, and then let's see what we've got. What's available? Poles. Let's look at the poles. 19 centimeter pole is 150 or 160, and I don't want to go too tall. So if I have 150 and I add 62 to that, it's 212. And what did we say? The 221. So if I went to 160, that would be 222, and that would be wrong. That would be too tall. Especially once I put the legs under it. Yeah. Okay. So, excuse me. 150 for the end ones. Let's move this. No, move. Ah, stop it. Move. There we go. Oh, I can't get in the corner to pick it. Yo. Okay. Move. So now we're in the corner. Hello. So right in the middle of that hole, I want to draw a circle. Oh, you see, maybe right there. Yeah. And I want this one to be 19. But because I'm lazy again, we are just going to make it 10. That's so much easier. So we want this to be 150 centimeters. Boom. I think I'm going to have to get rid of this. Not you though. Aww. Oops. Did you do that at the top? Really? No. You just did it in a weird way. Swear not. What is going on here? Thank you. And point it. Seriously. What is going on? No. 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 Why are you going that way? Ah. How about no? Seriously. Seriously. Let's start over. Because that is just messed up. Delete. Okay. Circle. Right there. That size. Perfect. Was that so hard? I don't think so. Now let's make this 1.5 meters tall. And I really need to put some feet under that, but I don't know how big. So I will just raise it later. But for now, is that a freaking hollow tube? Because you don't know what you're doing. So I put you inside of another hole. Why can't you just be? Ah! Roar! Really? Okay. So I want to raise this. Let's just move this out of the way. I want this to go up by 37.5. Is that a... Yes. 375. Alright, that's a good place for you. Now will you do what you're supposed to do? Probably not, because it drew it the wrong way. Oh, is that the top? Oh, look at that. Okay. Let's do that. Let's do more of that. Alright, did you finally? Yes. Now we can make that one solid. It's a 1500 beat. Beat. Okay. Shelf 1. But I need to duplicate that. From the center of one hole to the center of another hole. That won't be difficult at all. So let's copy. See if I can move from the center on edge of component now. Okay, I can do it this way, I think. From the center of component to, which one is copy? Control to the center of this. There, I should have done it. Hey, that did do it. Oh, I'm so awesome. Okay. Now, we want to take both of those and try that again. But I don't feel like it's going to be successful this time. So, yeah, I can't quite grab the center, but that's good enough. I'm pretty sure that's fine. And control onto that point. Now I should have there. Yes, indeed. Now, let's copy this again. From the top, go up, control 37.5. Oops, 375. Ah, crap. Really? Now 375. Ha! Okay. Let's do that again. Get 1, 2, 3, hopefully. 375. Ah, I just noticed a problem. Yeah. I need those poles to go up 2.5 centimeters, which means I need to put feet on them that are 2.5 centimeters, or or it's gonna be messy. That's doable though, pretty sure. Let's do this. No, up. There you go. 25. Ouch, ouch. I'm going to make a thing that looks like a foot. Yeah, you're right. Oh, I forgot this is 20. No. I forgot if I do that. That doesn't like to do that. So that one was 10. This needs to move down 15. See, this part's always kind of tricky. What? I didn't know you could do that. That's kind of awesome. I like that. It's not the foot I was going for, but I'm going to keep it because I like it. Sure. Why didn't you just draw a circle? I think I just asked you to draw a circle. Please? Draw a circle? No. Just not good. Nothing doing there, huh? Circle? Hello? Oh, come on. Thank you. Again, with the not drawing the circles. Really? Why can't we draw a circle that size? Do we not like it? Is it a bad circle? I don't get it. Why? Why can't you just draw a freaking circle? I mean, look, it's a circle. Kind of like that, but only less wrong. There. Okay. Let's add all three of these together, make a component. 14, 19 millimeter foot. Okay. I should have called that a 19 by 25 millimeter foot, but hey, beggars can't be choosers. Let us copy and copy. Did you do that the right way? Control. I would be also pleased if you would put that in exactly the right place. I know it's asking for a lot. Apparently a little too much. Okay, so to the middle of this. Right there, right there, right there, right there. No, 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 no. Kind of. Huh, does that work? Seems workable. Probably worked. Sure. Let's just do this a little more straightforward. Copy from there to there and there. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So we put 5. Oh. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh. It's only 8 again. because I was always going to put one on top. So now we're back down to needing 8. Oh, right. Right. And there's still another problem is the offset because I can't. I think I'm just going to have to deal with that somehow. Wait, why? What? Did it raise everything? There's the right level. Why can't I see down inside? Where's the top? Oh, whatever. See, if I put those, the next shelf that goes on there has to be above or below the, the shelf to the next to it. And I'm not going to have room. 160 is not right. 155. We need 155. Not 160. 155. I have 45 centimeter extensions. Ah. Okay. Let's rethink this now. I've got 45 centimeter. That means instead of 150, if I do 110 plus a 45, that'll be 155. Is that what I want? I think so. 155. So 210 minus 155, that still leaves 66. The heaters are 62. Yep. Okay. Plus with the 2.5 extensions on the, which won't really be, but I think I'm going to do 155. Yeah. And the next one I need to be the full height. What did I pick for that? I don't. 190? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Let's do it that way. right there in the center. Thank you. Make it a 10. And we want this to be 55. Yeah, that's more like it. Huh. It is not the same size as that hole. My guess is no, actually it does. Why is that not the same size? Did I typo something wrong? 17. How did that turn into 17? Let's do this again. Zoom, zoom. Delete. Delete. Actually, 5. Yeah, that's good. Okay, that's better. Make this a component. This is 155. Let's copy it from something easy to select. There. We'll copy this also from there. Oops. Alrighty. Now, actually, I should have done that the other way. Before copying that, I want to make my next set of poles, which are 190s, and then I will just move them out of the way because that's easier. So let's do this. Grab the center. We want to make these 19. And then extrude them up to the full height of 190. Make that a component. What did I call that other one? I don't remember. Let's duplicate it from there to there. And then add this one into the selection. This time we're going to move it one shelf width and not copy it because, okay, just because. Oh, I should have copied these. Let's collect those and copy these the same distance over. There we go. And then I want these poles copied. There. Yep. Something doesn't seem right, but I don't know why. Oh yeah, because I needed that to line up. Okay. Well, let's move these. These shelves are all still in the, whoa, stop that. These shelves are still in the right place. So, or relatively, at the right distance from each other. So we're going to use those and move them up here to here. Did I move that correctly? Yes, very nice. Okay. Now this time I want to duplicate those. Yeah. From here so that I have a place to go. Yes, duplicate. Control. So here. Please, please, right there. No, why aren't you grabbing? That should have worked. It is still in the right place. Perfect. Did it do it again? Why can't this thing draw the size that I asked for? I don't get it. Seriously. Wow. Okay. You know, I don't care a whole lot. I think it'll be fine. Okay. So we got that side done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Is that gonna be right? It's 190. Put those on top. There'll be room for more. Probably. And there, 46 midpoint. Oops. Midpoint of that. That's not quite right, is it? It's going to overhang more than that. That's okay, because I can do something about that. Right there. Now we're going to move this one. Will that fit? Oh no. That is going to be close. Yes, it fits between those there, but in the front, I am concerned. I have concerns. See, it's going to intersect because it's so long. I think maybe I'll just put a 2.5 centimeter spacer up there, and I don't know. Yeah, probably to make that sit higher so it can sit on top. We'll figure something out. That's fine. Let's move these. No, not you. Yeah, that looks good. Except I don't like the color of that. I need that to be a different texture, something. Let's find a plastic. Synthetic surfaces, huh? No, no, not those kinds. Yeah, that works. Okay. Wow, there's a big space there. Why? There's so much bigger than I was thinking. Because I measured, of course, they're only 32 centimeters tall, and my numbers said they were 35. So, 2. Let's leave some. 35 was the space be. With the 2, yeah, I think that's what it was. It was around 2.5 centimeter mark, since that's the unit of measure on these shelves. One is going to be a bit taller anyways. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Oops, that's not all the way on the floor. Let's move this again from midpoint to halfway between those. Ah, come on. Endpoint. Endpoint. Now you can go right in the middle, right? Not quite, but yeah, whatever. There's a really big gap there. I could put another shelf there. Those 2 more shelves would add 2,400 yen, 2,500 yen to the cost of the system. It would make it sturdier, because those legs are kind of far apart. They could get wiggly, fall apart. Maybe. Let's see. There's probably room to move them, but let's try something here. Move that from. Duplicate now. Move. Yeah, there's still space. But is there? Because this bottom part, I'm not sure if all of that rod is usable. Or I feel like the bottom has some distance you're not allowed to use. I think it's fine. But I would have to raise this up 7.5. And it doesn't care. Because there's plenty of room. Actually, I'm pretty sure you can't place that on the bottom. So hang on, I'll be right back. I need to go find out. I need to go measure. I need to go check. Hey, we've got some examples. It looks like you can't use the last 2.5 centimeter spot. But I'm not sure. We just haven't used it. So I don't know if that means you can't or what. I could use a shelf here and not one on this one possibly. Or no shelf at all. Could use, I could shorten everything up though. But do I want to? I can only go down 7. I can only go down 5 actually. Maybe I'll order the shelves, and if they don't fit, I just want to use one. Maybe. Yeah, maybe. We'll give that a try. Oops. Something didn't work out right there, did it? One. That one. Midpoint to midpoint. Yeah. Guess we'll find out. I don't know if you can use that last one. I like the spacing, so I think I'm gonna keep it. Huh. Don't know. Okay, next is next. Do I want to use wide shelves, narrow shelves? Ouch. So 2 of those would make 1 meter. I don't think there's 1 meter shelves. Let's go look back at what we've got here. So there are 1 meter shelves, and they only hold 50 kilograms. And we're getting up to the limit. So I'd say 120 definitely is 50 kilograms. 100's a little more than that. 85 is closer to 70 kilograms probably. But that's really long. And I don't think I need anything that wide. Right now we've got a little less than 1 meter. We've got 2.5 meters to deal with and still leave. Yeah, we've got another 1.5 meters of shelf we can do. So I was thinking of doing 75s. 75s or 80s, because the 75 will give me 70 centimeters. That is the leftover pieces. About 35 plus 6, 6, 7, 8, 9, 35 plus 40, 75. Those 2 under 1, the drill press under 1. So 80s. Yeah. Yep. Probably. Do an 80 and an 80 because those overlap 2.5 on each one. So really, those 50s is 45 plus 45 plus 2, 75 and 75 if I used 80. So plus 150 plus 240. That's a good size. It's about what I got now. Although I can't really use it. Yeah, I think I'll use 80s. Yep. Let's use 80s. Those can all go on the bottom. I don't think I need anything on the top. Yeah, those are good. Let's doodle this up again. Maybe we'll draw this one the right way this time. So, ouch. This one I want to be 800 by 300. This time the centers at 25, 5, 5. All right. Let's draw our circle. We want a radius of 10. And another one with the radius of 12. Here's the problem there. Okay. Yes. All of that needs to go away, at least for a while. Yeah, let's delete this so we don't confuse this poor thing. I want this to be 25. Yes, yes, yes. It's got to be a component to make that work right. Let's not pick the mirror. Let's pick the aluminum. Why can't you pick the whole thing? Alright, so we've got one of those. Let's make this a component. Shelf hole. Let's copy the shelf hole from there. Come on. It's kind of annoying. Okay. 4 shelf holes. Now we want to draw a box. Yes. What is the best way to do this? Extend it down, but I want First one, pull it up, chop the holes. Yeah, that's probably the best way. Let's make this face come back. Then extrude it up. Yeah. Extrude up 25. Offset it to extrude that up. Come on. Extrude that up. 23. Draw some circles. And extrude those down to erase. Can I erase that? Okay. Now we have holes. I think that's the more correct way to do that. Okay. Selected all of that. Now let's mark this as all at once. Get it all up. Solid corners, fancy things. Alright, now let's get rid of the markers, guidelines. Join that all together as one piece. Make a component. I don't know what I called this, 80, 30, something like that. Alright, I think. Not quite. I don't know. Is it my edge that I didn't pick properly? Most likely. Hmm. Oh, it actually works. Yeah. Hmm. Ah. Well, okay. Getting there. But I don't need that one there. What I actually need that. I need it 60 above the floor at least. I'm already I need 600, sorry. Let's see, one is 40 and 80. Need the bottom to be 80. I just raised it 800. I just raised it 80. I just raised it 50, so I need to raise it 750 more. Let's do it again. Let's go up 750. Yeah, that's actually a good spot. Yeah. So I need to copy these poles now over 75 and then one more time over 75. Let's copy the feet too. 1, 2, 3, 4. Doesn't matter where from, honestly. 750. Let's do it again. Oops. Because it already. Oh, yeah. That's it. 775. So these should go over 50 more. And these should go over 25 more. How's that look? Marvelous. Just marvelous. And now I need to move down. want shelves of that same size. Seems reasonable. I don't have anything too gigantic. So we want those to go up. 35. What did we say again? Oh, where'd it go? 37.5. Yeah. Actually, something went wrong there. Huh. Why did that go in a little bit? Huh. So I don't know why those got shifted over a little bit, but we will fix that right now. Oh, wow, it's not normal. I don't know what's going on here. Something's out of whack. Awesome. Does that not line up the way it's supposed to? It does. I don't know what's going on, so we delete those and try again. So the still problem is that's too tall. But how tall is this? Because this space has to be 80. I guess that space doesn't have to be 80. One of them needs to be 80. And I think the one closest to me should be 80. This could be a different height. And I think it should be. Like the things going under there. A few things are 80. Let's see. Drill press is 50. The vacuum cleaner is. The drill press is 40. Vacuum cleaner is 50. 55. So we'll call that 60. So the vacuum cleaner and that will go together. The drill press will go somewhere else. So that could be lower. Put the vacuum cleaner right in the front because that's the thing I use the most. Let's rotate this. Yeah, that's the way that's got to go. So this can go down 20 at least. It's 80 tall, 60. I only need to do 50 actually. See what happens if I move this down to 30. That seems a little too low. So I'll move it up 10 centimeters, 100 millimeters. Let's measure that. Clearance should be now 600. The drill press only needs 40 plus some room to make it easy, but then there's some miscellaneous stuff that might need 60. That seems good. Yep. This needs to go up. How tall is that? Let's measure that first. 775, so at least 25 at a minimum. Those are bristle brushes. Taller than that would be okay, but I'm going to call that 800. Yeah, that's fine. The bottom of that, which leaves a little more in the middle. So let's take that up. 25. Yep. Let's rotate that. Not that it really needs to be, but why can't you pick a corner? Wow, there's a lot of dead space right there. I could move those, but I don't want to. Hang some hooks. Suppose I could do lots of things with it. think I would rather have the drill press up higher, but then it could fall over. Having it on the floor just risks, it's on the wood. The floor is wood, so putting it on the floor means, you know, humid wood. But it's also heavy, so leaving it on the floor is probably the safe bet. And that sits right at the top where we want it. That's not the right size anymore. Take all of those, move them down by 50. And now that space there is 500. See, I could put it on there if I wanted to, and I might want to. Space from here to here is 325. Won't fit a bin, but it will fit something else. I'm okay with that. And you can move the shelves once they're installed, but only, up and down. Like, let me say, I want to move this shelf here. I could move it up to this level or down to this level, but I can't put it up here because I'd have to disassemble everything to move it outside of those bounds, and that's probably not going to happen. So I think that'll do it. There are some, let's check out some other accessories here. So the feet, it's really hard to tell what those are, but they're pretty long because I'm assuming those still turn out to be about 22 centimeters in diameter, which means they're at least 5 centimeters long, I would say, but only an adjustable height of 2.5 to 3 maybe. These a little harder to tell, and I don't. It would protect the floor better because they're bigger, but I also don't want to risk them getting in the way of putting equipment and bins in and out. We've got these rails if we don't want things falling off the back, and that's a possibility that that's a problem because not for the bins, there's just no room, but there's 2x4 studs back here, so there's some gaps, and so maybe I should have I been pointing at the wrong screen the whole time? I am so sorry. You've been looking at that the whole time and not what I've been drawing. Oops. Yeah, I need more practice, don't I? But that's the shelf, in case you missed it. Um, yeah. Hmm. And there's these, it's pre-cut plastic pieces or wood or cork, I think, just to make it so little pieces don't fall out and makes things slide easier on it. And I like the idea of that, but not this price for one piece. 55 by 30, and they don't cut them the right size anyway, so no luck there. This is this clothes hook. I don't need a clothes hook. This isn't going in there. This little bin, that's kind of cool. Small parts things, but I got a feeling the small parts are way better off just being in a bucket. I think that's the best idea. Just put it in a bucket. So little edge rails, I probably want to take things off the edge. So the back edge doesn't really matter. The front edge, let's see, we'll go back here again. So if I put those little things right here, that's no big deal. These bends aren't going to fall out that way or backwards. So I don't, these don't need any accessories. Maybe something needs to go here so that this, whatever's on this shelf doesn't fall out that way. Is that a big deal? I don't know. On the front side, I probably want to pull some things out. So let's take a closer look at those though, just to be sure. These little rails clip onto the rail, so those can be added at any time. Not a big deal. These dividers can be added at any time. I'm not sure that's a big deal either. They don't say how big they are though. It says 40. These hooks, I can probably come up with something instead of putting these on there. Actually, I don't even know how that. Let's take a look at that. Surely, I hope those can be added at any time. They do clip on the rails. They don't really give any good indication, but it looks like there's a gap back here. So slip on maybe. You can push it on the rail and then after assembling the rack. So these can go on at any time. Do I want to add some? Maybe. There's a few places where they could be convenient, I think, like in the front here on this rail, for this sticking outwards, I can add some things, but in this area I could take up some extra space by sticking them inwards and hanging some cables or whatever that might need to go with the vacuum cleaner. Maybe. Let's throw in a couple of those for the order. We're going to need some more of these because they're, you can't see that. These are the things that go, the stops, the keys that make the shelves sit where you want them to. I take that back. The shelf comes with as many as it needs. The rods don't come with any. It should be okay. Now these, that seems handy to hang those under in some places that, but are they the right size? That's the real trick. They seem to be not the right size. Magazine holders. I'm not going to store magazines out there. This isn't that kind of thing. I may get some of these hooks. I hope you get more than one for that price. I would assume you do. That is not even what was there. Interesting. See, this shows an S hook, right? Oh, let's see, maybe I'm just reading it wrong. There's a grid, not an S hook. Ah, it's a grid to put S hooks on. Gotcha. And those are the S hooks. Ah, okay. I get it now. So how big is it? These are metal rack connectors, MR2. Ah, you need those. Okay. This is 70 by 25. Hmm. That might come in handy. 70. Let's go back here. How tall is 70? Right, that's about that opening there. So I could put something up there to hang cables or small things on with the S-hooks. But that means I can't pull something out at the end, but that is probably okay. Yeah, I might use those. To use that though, let's see, what was this other one? MR46. Let's look at that. This one is 70 by 30. What? 70 by 35. Board length of 46 centimeters. Now I'm confused. Width is 70, length 35. This one says, oh, 35. Yeah, we don't want 35. 35 is wider than the rec. So 3 S-hooks. Is it really? Is that what they're saying? 3 pack of S-hooks. Okay. So I like that. I may put one on this back side. I don't know what I'd hang up there though. So I can't get to it. That is 30.5 by 33.5. Yeah, maybe, no, it's 30.5 wide, 33.5 deep, so it wants to go on a different shelf. 25. Yeah, nope. Those I think still will get. I don't need that kind of hook. These things we needed some of to hang the thing on. I don't need a paper towel hanger. So I think I know what I need now, and all that's left to do is to make the final list and put an order together. All right, well, thanks for sticking out for almost 3 hours trying to plan this out, but we got a good view of it, and I like my chances of getting it correct this time. So thanks for sticking around. See you next time.